afternoon, folks. Welcome to Maverick Baking and welcome to another in-depth, high-quality chocolate review. If you're new to the channel, my name is Kelly and here we conduct these kind of chocolate reviews all the time, along with recipes, vlogs, what I eat in a day things. We've got a podcast these days. There's all sorts of stuff going on. So if you like sweet things, do feel free to stick around. Today we are talking about a KitKat that I could not keep my greedy little fingers off of. I found this either in my local Home Bargains or B&M store. I cannot remember which. There's been a lot of that going on recently, but this is an Australian KitKat. You can probably tell by the fact it comes in this enormous bar, because in the UK the biggest KitKat we get is about this size. So this is an Australian import inspired by Byron Bay cookies, which a quick Google tells me is a very nice looking Australian cookie company. So while it's a different kind of shape of KitKat to what I normally expect, and it looks like it's going to have a kind of two-tone vibe, this is apparently going to be milk chocolate, wafer fingers, white chocolate, and a cookie crumb. You'll be equally as excited as I was to hear that the cookie crumb takes up exactly and precisely 1% of this bar. It's a big impact these are going to make. So it looks like it's going to just be a kind of standard KitKat for the most part, with a white chocolate topping bit taking up about a quarter of it, and that rock your world level of cookie crumb in there. But let's see what this is like, and let's see whether it's worth picking up, whether you're in Australia or anywhere else in the world. So we unveil our upside down KitKat bar here. You can see it's got this kind of almost, I hope you'll be able to see, this kind of mottled chocolate chip vibe on top there. It does smell different to a normal KitKat, though I couldn't tell you precisely why. Let me show you on the back that it looks kind of like standard milk chocolate, while we have that kind of mottled effect there. But I think that gives a nice kind of two-tone appearance to it on the side. This almost looks like a chocolate wafer with the kind of chocolate cream inside. So let's see if this is any good. Different, yes. Immediate chocolate chip cookie vibe? Not really. It tastes more like a cookies and cream product, something that had been inspired, for example, by the Oreo, or something similar, kind of cocoa heavy rather than a chocolate chip cookie. The chocolate wafer in there definitely gives a kind of distinctive cocoa flavor to the whole thing, and it has all the great texture that a KitKat normally does, with the kind of reasonably generous chocolate on the outside, the creaminess and those crunchy wafer layers. It's very light, it's not aggressively sweet, but I couldn't say that I'm getting something identifiable as milk chocolate chunk cookie. Generally speaking, it tastes good. It tastes like a decent kind of double chocolate wafer. You get a feel of that white chocolate, you get the milk chocolate flavor, and you get that chocolate wafer flavor in the middle that feels like it could be chocolate cookie inspired or cocoa biscuit inspired, like a bourbon biscuit, an Oreo, something like that. But there's nothing that screams kind of chocolate chunk cookie to me, especially if we're going by a standard kind of chocolate chip cookie vibe, as we're being led to believe on the front. To give this fair judgment, I have never tasted a Byron Bay cookie specifically. Perhaps this tastes very much like their cookies do. But if you are a UK consumer picking this up, don't expect it to taste like a bakery cookie, even a Maryland cookie. It tastes very much more like a double chocolate wafer. But a good double chocolate wafer, like one that if you're a chocolate lover and you just want something sweet and crunchy and chocolatey, this will do. So while it doesn't necessarily 100% nail the brief from my perspective, but I could be wrong, it's still a very enjoyable and balanced chocolate in terms of texture, in terms of flavor, not being too sweet, not being too fake tasting. And I would probably give this KitKat milk choc chunk cookie bar a 4 out of 5. It's one that I think cookie, wafer and chocolate lovers alike could all agree on for at least 5 minutes. Do let me know if you have tasted this particular bar, especially if you're based in Australia or New Zealand, where this might be more kind of readily available and more comparable to other kind of KitKat or cookie flavors. I'd love to know your opinions. But I'm afraid that is all I have time for today, folks. Thank you so much as ever for joining me. It's a pleasure to have you here, and I will see you for the next one.
My loves, I have been baking brownies for years now, and let me tell you, I've had my fair share of dreamy outcomes and absolutely disastrous outcomes too. But That is exactly why I'm here to share with you today the brand new Maverick Baking Ultimate Guide to Brownies. Whether you like them cakey, fudgy, or a gooey mess, every tip and trick is in this guide. Check it out.